We are up and running. Cool. Definitely lost track of time, and I ran down here to jump on this. So, thank you everybody for joining me tonight. Tonight is Sunday, January 28th, 2024. Um, yeah, I guess I will get this adjusted a little bit. Okay. Yeah, so tonight I just wanted to talk about some movies and hopefully have a conversation with you guys. My absolute favorite part about having this channel is just, talking with you guys about everything and just, having that little bit of a community. So, um, hope everybody is well. Currently in Ohio, it is rainy and wet and cold. So it is just not a great day to be outside, but it was a great day to sit and watch some movies. So hopefully, wherever you guys are coming from, let's see, I already have a comment here saying, greetings, Kyle, via yeah, NYC. Keep up the great work. So New York City, cool. Um, that's awesome. I'm always curious where everybody is. I guess tuning in from. But yeah, I just hope everybody out there is doing great. Um, yeah. So I guess I'll just start off by going through the films. I always do this every week now. Just talking about all the movies I watched this last week, and just I guess hearing your guys' thoughts, and then we'll dive into some discussion afterwards. I guess. But yeah, so if you are brand new to this live stream, welcome to my channel. Welcome to my Sunday Night Lives. I always do these every Sunday at 7 p.m. So yeah, I guess if you're curious, I will always be here 7 o'clock every single Sunday, unless if something comes up, then I won't be able to do it. But if you do, or if you're curious, you can follow me over on Instagram. That's where I post in like hopefully 24 hours in advance when I will be doing a live stream. Um, and yeah, I guess that's the kind of how I warn people when I'm going to be doing live streams. But um, if you are new to this, I am trying to watch. One of my goals for this 2024. One of my goals is to watch 365 movies. Not necessarily a movie every single day, but just 365 films throughout the entire year. So I've been keeping track in this notebook of everything that I've been watching, on like what I've been watching, what format I've been watching it on, and when I've like watched it on, like what date. Um, so let's see. So far, I'm up to like 38 films, which is kind of wild. And like, I guess I will just dive into, um, what I watched this last week. Let's see. What is today? The 28th. Okay, so starting things off on the 22nd. So this was about a week ago. Yeah, it's about a week ago. I just watched the film Snapshot. This is put out by Vinegar Syndrome, um, and it's a horror film. It's also known as The Day. Let's see, yeah, The Day After Halloween. So you can kind of it has this like, um, I guess alternate title. Um, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was not quite what I was expecting, but I feel like it was actually very like well produced, and it had a fun little twist, which the whole movie had me thinking one thing was going to happen, and then right at the end something completely different happens. So it was a lot of fun diving into that. But the next one I watched. Again, I'm not gonna like. I don't want to do like a full movie review for each of these movies. I just want to kind of go over them, I guess, quickly, if anybody was curious what I've been watching. So, the next thing I watched was John Carpenter's Vampires. This is a film that I don't think I've seen any of these movies, but I have not seen this, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. I feel like it kind of played a lot with like the vampire trope, and it kind of like made almost like a Van Helsing type of character where he like hunted down vampires, and it was almost like a career for these people, and it was very interesting. James Woods is the lead in it, and he was pretty good. I don't think I've seen a lot of things with James Woods as a actor in them, but Um, let's see. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with vampires. I mean, John Carpenter, as always, is just a master of horror and just a master of I don't know, building a really great film. So yeah, saw a comment pop up. In addition, let's strive to be the best version of ourselves. On that note, Happy New Year 2024. Yes, I agree. Um, and I have a several. Actually, I have a small list of goals for the year of 2024 for me and me and my YouTube channel in general. If you are curious, I do have a video kind of going over all of those different goals and stuff. But great collection. Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, but yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't know. I love setting goals for myself, especially in for like New Year's and just I one of my goals was to watch more of my directors' films. So I have a small section of all my favorite directors, and John Carpenter is in there. And so I've been kind of working through some of his films, and so far I've actually been tackling a decent amount of those. But next up, I watched the film Things to Come. This is by, this is a Criterion edition of the film. It's from 1936. It's by number 660. And I had a lot of fun with this. I feel like it feels like two different movies. I feel like the first half of the film is like one thing, and then the second half is a completely different thing, which was interesting. I feel like this is one that I started a very very long time ago, um, and um, I don't know. I couldn't get into it, and so I decided to restart it the other night, and I finished it, and it was very interesting. And if you're a fan of like films like Metropolis or like that like old school black and white like science fiction stuff, I would recommend checking this out. I guess it's H.G. Wells. I think he was the H.G. Wells writing about the okay yeah. Um, so I think he was the writer. Um, but yeah, so great Criterion edition of that. It looked fantastic. By the way, it's cool to see someone shares the same enthusiasm regarding film movies. My uncle had an extensive collection such as yours. Of course, after mine as well. That's cool, Kyle. Again, keep up the great work. Thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, I absolutely just I love films and movies, and I absolutely just love physical media, as you can tell behind me, um, and I just I don't know. I absolutely just love finding, you know, strange or weird movies that you wouldn't necessarily know about. Like I mean that's why I love like the Criterion collection as you see behind me, and just stuff like that that like you just I mean stuff like Things to Come where a lot of people probably would not have seen this film, but Criterion put it out on a very nice edition. And there's been several examples just throughout the Criterion collection alone that you know you would not have had an opportunity to watch, especially in a region A or America like format that they might have been like a region B or C or whatever, like or like a DVD like a region 1, 2, or 3 or some or region I guess 2 or 3, or even 4. Like some of these films like they were put out in like a very small country, and that's the only time it was ever released. And then you get Criterion coming along, and they just uh, get the rights to it and put it out on a Blu-ray that like way more people can enjoy. So that's I love that about film, and yeah, I love interacting with other people who also share the same passion for film. Um, but hey, Kyle, do you also collect steelbooks? So yes and no. Um, if I am at a store and the steelbook is available um, for a good price, I will probably buy it. I don't necessarily like seek out steelbooks. There's been a few in my collection that I'm like I absolutely need that, but yeah, I would say overall I don't really like seek them out. I should make a little section of my collection with all my steel books because I have a few mixed in here and there. I'm trying to think of some that are coming to mind that are ones that I really needed. Um, trying to think now. I don't know. So there's like I have a few like I have like the Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, which I absolutely love. I love those Blu-ray steelbooks, and um I don't know. I was at good a few months ago. I was at a Goodwill, and they had the steelbooks to a couple movies for $1, and so I decided to grab those. Um, and I don't know. There's a so if you're in the Ohio area, it's mostly like northeastern Ohio area, and a little bit into Pennsylvania and a little bit into I want to say I think it might just be Ohio and Pennsylvania. I could be mistaken on that. I forget exactly where they have locations. But the Exchange, where they sell movies and video games and vinyl and CDs, all that stuff, a lot of the time they have a specific steelbook like section, um, which I don't know. I have yet to really like dive into those. Um, but I know some companies like Arrow Video or Scream Factory puts out some fantastic steelbooks, but I need to I don't know. I need to maybe dive into those a little bit more. But next up, what I watched. So I decided to dive into this box set put out by Criterion as well. This is by Igmar Bergman. This is the 3 films by him, and so I have the Bergman box set up top over. You can't see it now. Which I guess I can just like that. It's not screwed on tight enough. I have the Bergman box set right over here, as you can see, and I watched all of these films on Blu-ray, but I only have this particular box set on DVD, and so this is what the box set is. This has 3 films, and I watched actually all 3 films. This also includes a documentary here, but this is the box set itself is Spy Number 208. This movie is 209. This is a Through a Glass Darkly, which was absolutely fantastic. I honestly forgot how much Bergman is a master of telling a story. This movie is 89 minutes long. It's in Swedish. It's black and white from 1961, and it truly like this movie flies by because I feel like if you get invested in the story, like you are just so captivated by it that um, it really doesn't feel like a film from the 60s and Swedish. Like it feels like a very great story being told, and a kind of a sad story too with this particular film. But if you are a fan of Igmar Bergman, like that is a definite must. Actually, I will say this whole box set is a definite must watch because I just feel like his. I mean, honestly, all of his movies are, but these films in particular, they're all very, very, very well done. And I am excited to dive into more of his films because I have not seen a ton of Bergman movies. But the next movie that I watched, so this is kind of a let's see. How do you feel regarding the Mill Creek collections? I think they do a pretty good job preserving preserving and bringing back classic films. I'm assuming you're talking about like the 50 movie packs. Let's see, like these ones where it's like it's put out by Mill Creek, um, and it's on. This is a 12 disc, 50 movie pack. Um, so I have, let's see, in the corner here. Yes, okay. In the corner here, I think this is put out by Mill Creek too. I could be mistaken in that. But you can kind of see it. It's a 200 movie pack of horror films. Um, so what I love about these is, sorry, I need a drink. 1 second. My throat's already dry. So what I love about these 50 movie packs, usually these are fairly cheap. I've seen these as low as like $8 for like 50 films, and obviously, fitting 50 movies on 12 discs, you're going to sacrifice quality by a lot. Some of these DVDs, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, there's 2 movies per side of disc. So they're both like all of them are flip discs or whatever they're called, or double-sided discs. And you're sacrificing quality for these. But what's nice about these 50 movie packs is that you have like I don't know, for like one price, you kind of get exposed to a lot of different types of films. I do have to admit, I have not dove into them all that much, but I have a ton of the different movie packs that they, that they offer. And so I like the idea of them because it kind of just like, for one price, you get just a bunch of films. And so, yeah, I mean, there's stuff on here that's, I mean, a lot of, I mean, some public domain stuff or whatever, but, um, some of the stuff I've never heard of, and so I'm very curious on. So someday I will really dive into all of these because I have multiple. I think I have almost every single horror one at least. I have, those what was it, the 60s, 70s, and 80s ones. There's a Western one I have, the Sherlock Holmes one I think I have. Um, I don't know. I have several different types of these box sets, but I love them. I think they're great, especially if you're looking into like kind of opening up your eyes to a lot of different types of films for like not that much. Where going like the Criterion route, you're going to be spending a lot more money. I mean, $20 on one Blu-ray during a Criterion sale or Barnes and Noble sale, versus you can get one of these for 10, 15, $8 or so, somewhere in that range. You can find these at thrift shops and stuff, and they're pretty cheap, and so you just, I don't know, it can expose you to a lot more. But um, the next one I watched, so this kind of comes with a little bit of a story where me and my wife decided to go to a library. I haven't been to a library in a very, very long time. Since I was pretty much like, I want to say maybe middle school, I want to say. So I mean, this is, I mean, trying to think how many years. Yeah, at least 12, 13 years, maybe somewhere in that range. And so basically, when I started really collecting movies, I really stopped going to the library, mainly because if I wanted to watch it, I would find a way to get it and then watch it that way. And then if I liked it, I would keep it. If I did not, I would get rid of it, kind of deal. Um, I tend to keep a lot more than get rid of. But me and my wife decided to go to a library. And like, I personally, I mean, I went in more of just the, just to kind of browse and just kind of, you know have something to do, and wasn't really expecting to find anything to watch necessarily. But then as I was walking through all the shelves of the movies and stuff, I did come across a couple movies that I have yet to watch, but I didn't necessarily want to buy anytime soon. um but the first one here was Halloween Ends. So actually, I missed watching this in the theater, and I watched Halloween Kills in the theater, and I wasn't a huge fan of Halloween Kills. I thought it was a little I don't know, it was a little cheesy for my liking, but I will say Halloween Ends. I feel like it was kind of fun. I feel like it was a nice conclusion to the Halloween franchise, but I still think of those, like the 2018 Halloween and the Halloween Kills and then Halloween Ends. I kind of think of those as like their own thing. I love the Halloween series, but I just feel like, I don't know, it feels a little overdone at this point. Um, let's see, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is the 13th Halloween movie that we've gotten, and it's just, I don't know, I'm a little tired of Halloween at this point. um, but I was just, I don't know, I will probably not be buying this anytime soon. I'm glad that I got it from the library because I'm able to watch it and then give it back, and if I come across it cheap enough, I will probably pick it up, but I will not be like seeking out to find this movie, if that makes sense. um, yes, you get a bargain. I'm assuming you're talking about these. Of course, the definition, or uh, of course, it's definitively not quality over quantity, but will do things out. Yeah. Let's see. Yes, Halloween Kills was not my fave as well. But Halloween Ends was not bad. Yeah, I definitely like Halloween Ends over Halloween Kills. I feel like it was a step up. I feel like Halloween Ends just kind of felt very, I don't know. There was some stuff in it that, I mean, they said, evil dies tonight like 30 times in the film, and I was just, by the end of the movie I was like, okay, I get it. Like, I get it, like it's fine. But I don't know. I feel like bringing back Laurie from the first, like Jamie Lee Curtis from the as like the main like protagonist in the film. Um, I just feel like it was just kind of like a we're out of ideas. I feel like it's I don't know. I wasn't a big fan overall of the new trilogy. I do have Halloween, the 2018 version, on 4K, but overall, I'll just say I wasn't. If I'm going to be watching a Halloween movie, I'm going to be gravitating towards the originals. I just feel like they're just better films overall. But next up, continuing in the Ingmar Bergman box set, I watched the film Winter Light. This is from 1962. It's black and white in Swedish, 80 minutes long, and it was also fantastic. I really enjoyed this one. I feel like all three of these films were just really just great films, and I would recommend checking out this box set. I really can't recommend it enough. Um, but what is your opinion on Rob Zombie Halloween? Ooh. I liked them. I feel like I should say I liked part of them. Um, I think I understand what he was going for with them, with the Halloween 1 and 2. I I need to rewatch Halloween 2. It's been a long time since I've seen his Halloween 2. But Halloween, the one that he remade, I feel like the only thing I would change is like I feel like Michael Myers doesn't need a backstory. That's what made the original character so interesting. Is like you just didn't know why he did it. Um, and I feel like with the Rob Zombie versions of Halloween, I feel like he like over explained why he's the way he is, and um, I don't know. I just feel like you don't need to see Michael Myers as a kid all that much. I think John Carpenter did it perfectly in the original Halloween, where you saw just a glimmer of his childhood, and that was it. And then he comes back, and I think it's just when you over explain the origin story of a villain, I feel like it just loses a little bit of its I don't know. It loses a little bit of its like mystery to it. But overall, I mean, I would say overall I like them, but definitely not my favorite throughout the whole franchise. Um, let's see. Hello from Denmark. Hello. Glad you're here. Um, yes, definitely originals are always the best. Yes, Rob, love this dude. Music and film, been a fan since my teens. Agreed. Yeah, I do like Rob Zombie. I like his music. I really like House of a Thousand Corpses. Um, I need to rewatch Devil's Rejects. It's been a while since I've seen that one. And I wasn't a huge fan of Three from Hell. I feel like I think it was either when I was watching it, I was like distracted. Yeah, I was either like I think it was playing in the background or something. I need to go back and rewatch it. But from what I remember, I wasn't a huge fan of. 31 kind of felt a little like to me. Um, but yeah, I like his. I mean, I didn't see the Munsters movie that he did. And I don't know. There's a few that I don't know that I have not seen of his, but from what I have seen, like House of a Thousand Corpses is great. I feel like it's just such a fun, creative horror film. Um, but yeah, that's how I guess my Rob Zombie talk. But yes, same here. But next up, so I talked about this briefly on my last live stream from last week. Um, and you want to say hi? Come here. My cat wanted to say hi. This is Hazel. If anybody um, was not did not see my other videos, but this is Hazel. She is needs to lose some weight, but yeah. So my last live stream, I talked about this. What you do? I talked about these movies briefly, but it's funny because my cat always comes in here and she's like just looks up at me like, who am I talking to? Because she doesn't, you know, she thinks I'm just talking to myself. But my last live stream that I did, I talked about this briefly, where somebody asked if I've seen these films, and I have not, and so I decided to also grab these films from the library. But the first one being Scream. This is from 2022, I believe. Um, it might be, maybe it's 2021. I mean, on the back says 2021, but I believe it came out in 2022. Um, and this is one that I missed in the theaters, and I think it's because I would always get this confused with the TV show. I don't know why. I didn't watch the TV show at all. I feel like when the TV show came out and it was just like Scream stuff all the time, and this came out and it's like, okay, I don't care anymore. The original Scream is perfect. I don't care about all of these sequels. Um, but actually, this was a pleasant surprise. I actually really enjoyed this one. Um, I feel like it was a nice subversion of my expectations for what a Scream sequel would be. This is Scream 5 technically, so this was like a soft like reboot of the series. I feel like they handled it very well with like the legacy characters and they gave reason for it. And I feel like with a series like that, they can do like commentary on you know doing sequels and like a reboot and all that stuff. And I feel like it has like an interesting I don't know, it can be very interesting. And I feel like with this particular film it was that. I feel like I really enjoyed it, and it felt like it was kind of like not a completely unnecessary cash grab sequel. I feel like they like treated everybody with like respect, and I feel like it was just kind of like well done. And it made sense. All the characters, they all made sense. It felt like there was a reason for people doing what they were doing. Sure, there was a few stupid mistakes here and there that like it's just like you're screaming at the TV. It's just like, don't do that. But overall, I really had fun with this. But the next one I watched, going along with that, was Scream 6. So this actually just came out not too long ago. This is from 2023. And again, I felt like, when I saw this, like the trailers or whatever pop up when this was in theaters, I was like, okay, cool. They're taking Scream to New York City. And but again, it feels kind of like a necessary like step in the Scream series, and it feels like this is it felt like a natural progression of the story. And so I really actually enjoyed this one as well. Obviously, these last two films I was, are nothing compared to the original Scream. But as, the fifth and sixth film of a series, especially being as old as Scream is, I mean, Scream is from, what was it, 90s, I think, late 90s, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken on that. But yeah, I really enjoyed doing or checking those out. But how is your goal of watching TV shows going so far? How far have you watched? So this week, actually, I did not get around to watching a TV show. So, if you're new to this live stream, I'm counting two episodes of a show as one movie. That way, I'll also be able to watch my TV seasons that I have that have just been sitting there that I've been wanting to watch, but I'm kind of giving myself like a reason to watch those. And so, um, each week I've been trying to watch like two episodes at least of one particular show. I've been working my way through the show Hannibal. So I'm on season 2, about a little over halfway through it. But this week I did not get around to actually watching that whole or my two episodes. And so hopefully next week I will have a time to watch those. But this week I ended up spending more time watching library films because I figured I should watch those because I have to give those back to the library. But at some point, I will get around to watching the TV shows again. But Rob Zombie movies are awesome films. Yes, I would say overall, I would agree. I just feel like I don't remember like Rob Zombie or what's it called? Um, I don't remember Halloween 2, like I said, and or Devil's Rejects. I need to revisit revisit Three from Hell, and I need to. I wasn't a huge fan of 31. I will say that, but I understand what he was going for. But overall, I'd say I like his directing style. Um, Let's see. Have you seen Last of Us TV series? I have not, no. But my in-laws actually keep telling me I should watch it, and so sometime I will get around to checking it out. Um, but I've heard good things, and I have not played the video game at all, so I really don't know too much about the story. I think I have the first game for the PlayStation, but I need to get around to watching it. Let's see. I'm a massive fan of Star Wars and One Piece. Nice. I have not watched or read watched. I've not watched the TV show One Piece, but I don't know anything about that series at all. I know it's like an anime thing, I think. And I'm not a huge anime fan myself, but there's a few anime films that I do enjoy, and so I don't know. Maybe one day I'll get around to checking that out. But the last film that I watched this last night, and this is again the last film of this trilogy of Ingmar Bergman films, which I would highly recommend. And that is the film The Silence. This is from 1963, 95 minutes, black and white, and in Swedish. Um, but just fantastic. Such a simple little story of just two sisters' relationship kind of like crumbling, and I don't know. It's pretty much primarily set in a hotel room, and yeah, it's very fascinating. Igmar Bergman is just a master at telling stories, and so that is everything that I watched over this last week or so. Um, but yeah, let me know what you guys' thoughts are on any of those things. Also, I guess slash, what are you guys watching? What have you been watching? I'm curious. Um, yeah, gotta get a sip of my coffee here. Do you have any cheesy films just for guilty pleasure watch? Ooh, that is a great question. Let's see, Tiffany. Tiffany, I feel like you always ask great questions on these things. I really do appreciate that. I see your name pop up regularly, so thank you for tuning in every week. I do appreciate it. I'm sure other people do tune in weekly too. I just um, yeah. So I do have a section in my movie room of like good bad movies, such as like Tommy Wiseau's The Room or Birdemic or trying to read here. Let's see. The new Fantastic Four movie or Battlefield Earth, the Emoji movie, stuff like that. So I have a ton of those. Um, and I'm trying to think if there's any in there that are like guilty pleasure watches. I don't think those are like necessarily like guilty pleasure watches, because those are just bad movies in general. But they're also fun to watch with friends and whatnot. I'd say my biggest guilty pleasure watch would probably be Alien versus Predator. I don't know why, but I love Alien versus Predator, the first one, not the second one, but just the first one. Um, and I feel like it is such a I don't know, it's such a fun movie, and I just love the concept of it, and I don't know, I really like it. I'm trying to think other ones that um, hmm, I might do a video someday doing like guilty pleasure watches um, that are just like cheesy but like they're fun. Um, I don't know. I'm sure if as soon as I get off this live stream, I'm going to be thinking of them. Um, but yeah, I'll add that to my list of films to make, or maybe not films, videos to make of like guilty pleasure watches of mine. But speaking of TV series, I just finished watching SOAP Soap on behalf of Mill Creek via 80s. It was okay. Okay. Um, I don't think you have. Let's see. I don't think you have seen this TV series, but have you ever watched Blue Healers? I have not. No, I have not. Alien Predator are both awesome films. Yes, I agree. Um, Speaking of bad movies, have you seen? I Have I? I don't think I have. Um, I'm trying to think if I have in here. I don't think I've seen it. No. Um, Beyond envious of your Criterion wall. Thank you. I appreciate that. If you are curious, I have, I think it's 5 shelves. You can kind of see it. Like, I'll try to aim the camera. Because I mean, this does, my Criterion wall does change from time to time, but you can kind of get a look at the whole wall. It kind of stops down. Let's see. It stops. Let me keep going. Um, yeah, it stops right over here, and then it goes into Scream, or goes into Arrow Video. I'm sorry, and then Scream Factory. Um, but yeah, it's like 5 of these shelves, and that's all Criterion. So my goal is to have a complete Criterion collection. We will see if that will happen. So I've been working at that for a long time, and so um, I don't know. I always love. I mean, that's my. This is truly my passion within this movie room is my Criterion collection. But um, let's see. Absolutely incredible the amount of time and care into a collection like that. Yes, it has been a journey. I started off with a very small. I think like when I first was getting into Criterion, I was working at a video store, um, and I started off with only like 2 or 3 titles, and so it's pretty much just been building ever since. And so yeah, I absolutely love it. It's my favorite. I love telling people about it, and I love just I don't know. In fact, I was actually at the exchange. I think it was last week, and I was able to. I was looking at the Criterion, and somebody asked me, what is Criterion, and I went on the whole long spiel about what is Criterion and stuff, which is my absolute favorite. I love sharing what this is with people, and it's just I don't know. I think it's just such a fascinating part of film. But let's see, Jeeper Creepers are awesome films as well. Creepers, Jeepers. I'm assuming you're meaning Jeepers Creepers, because yeah. Let's see. Yes, Predator the original was an awesome film indeed. Um, and yes, love my Criterion collection as well. Classic. Um, yeah, um, yeah. My goal with my whole Criterion collection is to get every single one. I'm about halfway there. I feel like, according to like spine numbers, and hi, Ralph, or Ralph's here. Hello, Ralph. Welcome. Um, According, like, kind of going along with the spine number thing, I have about 600 or so spine numbers, and they've released up to like 1,200, a little over 1,200 spine numbers at this point. And so my goal is to get like all of them, and so I'm about halfway there. Um, but yeah, it's an ever growing collection. Every year they're putting out more and more titles, and so yeah, I think the thing with Criterion is the best possible time to buy them is the Barnes and Noble sale. I mean, even then, $20 a piece is not a cheap price tag. Um, but that's just kind of my pattern of just Barnes and Noble sale, and then when it's not the months of the sale or the flash sales on Criterion's website, I'm on eBay just like looking at mainly out of print stuff because I know I won't be able to get that during a sale, and so if I come across it at a good price during on eBay and I have the money, I'll try to snag it. So just trying to do that, but and some of them, I mean, they're since I have started collecting, some of these titles have gotten Blu-ray or 4K upgrades. And I think with me it's just, unless if it's a film that I am really after, I will not like upgrade it during a sale. I'll just hold off. I figured what I'll do is like I will go through and buy up everything that I can and on the nicest format when it's available, and then when I kind of get to a good spot, where I'm thinking good spot meaning like spine number 1,000, which that might be another 5-6 years from now. But when I hit like 1,000, maybe I'll go back through and buy up all the different like the newer versions of the films. So um, you know 4K or Blu-ray or whatever is available. Like I'm trying to think of an example. Like for example, when I bought Silence of the Lambs, it was out of print. This was the only way to get it through Criterion. Was on this DVD. Since then, they've put this out on Blu-ray. They got the rights back. You can buy this on Blu-ray now. Um, and I'm just kind of I've been putting it off. I've been putting off buying it on a nicer format. I have this on the Kino Lorber 4K if I really wanted to watch it. And I'll eventually go back through and get this on the Blu-ray for Criterion. But for now, I'm happy with my DVD. So that's kind of how I at least go about collecting. Because I want to have a collection of films that I love. I don't necessarily want a collection of just like the newest formats possible for everything because that can get very, very overwhelming. And so I try to get the nicest format the first time around. Some stuff is just, I don't know, like, sometimes it's like if it's only available on DVD or only available on Blu-ray, it's worth just getting it at that point, but not like putting it off. But let's see, I missed a few comments. Let's see. Oh yes, Barnes and Noble definitely. Are you going to watch Avatar 3 when it comes out in cinemas? I enjoyed the second film more than I did with the first. I think it's because it had more action in it. So I truthfully am not a big Avatar fan. I will go see Avatar 3, probably in theaters. But like I haven't bought Avatar 2. I have a Blu-ray version of Avatar 1. So neither like I haven't gotten the 4Ks or anything, and I probably won't. I wasn't a huge fan of Avatar 2. Um it's just not my type of movie, and I think it's like, if you enjoyed Avatar, that's great. I'm happy that you enjoyed it. Just for me personally, I just wasn't my type of film. But and that's okay. I think that's the beauty of what movies are. I think like you have so many different types of movies and so many like just kind of how like Criterion's not for everyone. Um, those big blockbuster type of films just aren't my style. I enjoyed like the Avenger films. I enjoyed like the first, up to like Endgame, but since then I just kind of fell off. I don't really care to watch any of the other ones. I kind of I liked it all building up to Endgame, and I don't know. It's just not my type of film. So yeah, but I'm happy for you. I hope you enjoy Avatar 3 when it does come out. Um, and that's where I purchased them as well. I'm assuming you talk about Barnes and Noble. Planet of the Apes movies is pretty amazing. Yes, actually, I really do enjoy the Planet of the Apes films. I think I like the older ones more than the newer ones, but I do actually like the newer ones. I feel like they're still pretty fun. Um, Also, years ago, Disney made a movie called Bed Knobs. Let's see, Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. I remember watching it as a kid. I think. Do I have that movie? Trying to like read in my. Um, I definitely know what movie you're talking about. I've never seen it. I might have had it on VHS at one point, or I might still have it on VHS. Um, but I know what movie you're talking about. Yeah, Disney did a lot of these. Like a lot of these like live action type of films that you would not really necessarily think of. Like they did a Treasure Island movie. I think it was called Treasure Island. Trying to think. I'm like kind of scanning my Disney films. Yeah, a lot of these like older Disney stuff. Let's see, My Dog the Thief, I guess was one. A lot of them I've not seen, but I have a ton. I was at Goodwill like a year and a half ago maybe. And this apparently somebody gave away their whole collection, and so they had all of these like these classic Disney films that were all like these live action things for $1 a piece, and so I grabbed all of them. So I have a fair like collection of them now, but I think there's like a Herbie or like the car Herbie movie. But again, I've not seen a lot of them, so Do you have a favorite cover of a movie that you own? That is a great question as well. Um, wow. I do not know if I have a favorite cover. Um, I really love how Criterion does like custom artwork for a lot of the films. Um, I feel like that it kind of just gives it like I don't know a more of a. I mean, a lot of boutique labels do that. Um, I don't know if I have a favorite necessarily. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to think about that. But um, let's see. Bedknobs and Broomsticks came out on VHS before. Yes, yes. Um, yeah, I feel like I have either the VHS or the newer DVD, but Herbie the Love Bug. Yes. It's been a long time since I've seen those movies. But I definitely remember watching the Lindsay Lohan remake, I guess. The Herbie Fully Loaded, I believe it was called. Um, yeah, I remember seeing that a long, long time ago, but um yeah, I my some of my favorites when it comes to those like live action like Disney things was Honey I Shrunk the Kids. And if you watched my one of my last videos talking about like my collecting journey, you'll kind of understand why I really love that movie. But that was one of my favorite movies for the longest time. I grew up watching Dennis the Menace. That's another one I've not seen, but I own. That honestly should be like my catchphrase at this point, where I haven't seen it, but I own it. But so let's see. Um, oh, something I do love, kind of in regards to my favorite covers. One of my favorite covers is the Tarantino. I think it's Tarantino XX box set, where it has a lot of his films. Where he has like the Super 8 camera, and it's like a red box set, red and black. I want to say. I love that artwork on it. I think such a great cover for the set. I will say I also really do love this the Hellraiser. This is the Scarlet box, Hellraiser 1, 2, and 3. This is another, I mean, an example of there was a newer edition of this released on 4K, and I decided not to get it. I wanted it, but it was still like $100 or so. Um, and I got this not too long ago. So I decided to stick with my Blu-rays because I absolutely love this set. I love how it's I love that this whole this whole lid pops off and you have the book or you have a yeah books and posters and bonus discs and all kinds of fun stuff in this. This is put out by Arrow Video, um, but yeah. Um, Curious. Let's see. Where do you purchase your DVD, Blu-rays, etc.? Being a movie connoisseur, such as myself, for me, I purchase my movies, films via Dollar General and, of course, Target, Best Buy, Walmart as well. Um, that's a great question. Um, so most of my movies, I used to do that. I used to buy a lot from like Walmart or whenever I was at Target, I would buy like a TV season or Best Buy also. I mean, but now Best Buy is stopping carrying physical media. I'd say most of my movies that I get now would either be from the Retro Attic, which is kind of a local store, which I've talked about on this channel several times. I did like a whole like interview with the guy who owns it. If you're curious, it's on the channel where I do like a walk around of his whole store, which is kind of fun. You can kind of get a vibe for like what he's going for. Um, and before that, he did a lot of like garage sale stuff, which I would go and buy a lot from him. But um, and I get a lot of stuff from him, but then I also get eBay. I buy a lot of stuff, not maybe not as much as I used to. I do buy some stuff off of eBay and the Exchange, which is a used video store, I guess too. Um, but unfortunately, like I know not everybody has a local video store. Um, and so like your best bets are those Walmart, Targets, all those things. But it does seem that like a lot of those places they're only carrying like the newest stuff, which I personally I'm not too worried about having a collection of like the newest releases. I'm more focused on getting things that I care about, such as Criterion. Criterion, obviously Best Buy or not Best Buy, Barnes and Noble is your best bet when it comes to Criterion. Some stuff is not available in store, like Severin titles. You can't purchase those brand new in a store. And there is a store for Vinegar Syndrome, but I believe they only have one in Connecticut, if I'm not mistaken. Um, which I've been wanting to take a road trip to, and just explore this store. I believe it's called like the Archive, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but yeah, a lot of these like different boutique things you can't purchase in store. It's all on their websites. So you can always the Vinegar Syndrome website, Arrow Video, Severin, Kino, Lober. I don't know, Scream Factory, all of those different sites. Of course, you can buy stuff off Criterion as well. Um, but yeah, I don't really purchase things in like big like chain stores as much anymore, just because of I just feel like they don't have what I'm really looking for. But um, do you own Nightbreed? I have several versions of it. Yes. Let's see. Yes, I have it on DVD. And I don't think I have this on any other format. Or I guess I have it on DVD and VHS. Um, but I've seen it once. It was pretty good. Not my favorite, but I enjoyed it. Probably, I mean, definitely worth getting. Um, but what do you think of the James Bond movies? So actually, that is a great question. So I kind of grew up with watching James Bond. I remember watching a lot of those with my dad. And so we would sit down and watch like, I'd get them from the library, and so, um, I don't know, we watched like through the entire series. So I have like a small James Bond collection kind of growing within my movie collection itself. I have the one box set of like all of the films. It's like the nice like bigger one with like it's like the gold cover. So I have that for all of them on Blu-ray, and then I have two different cover arts for DVD, and then I have a bunch of different artwork variations for VHS, and then I also have a few of the laser discs and some of the CEDs. Overall, I really like the James Bond series. I feel like it's a lot of fun, and I kind of miss just like spy movies, just like that didn't take them too like themselves too seriously. I feel like Mission Impossible sometimes takes itself like more serious. Don't get me wrong, I love the Mission Impossible films, um, and I would be okay if they just kept making those, because I just feel like they just keep getting better as they go. Um, Not, I mean, Mission Impossible One is still just a classic, but um, yeah, I'd say with James Bond, it just I feel like they kind of started to lose me a little bit when they started making it like from Casino Royale on, where it was like this more like the character was more telling a more deeper story, um, where there was a like through lines through each film. I loved the idea of James Bond, how they're their own little individual stories, and like yes, there was a few little through lines here and there, but there was kind of like they were able to do um, just a lot of different they used a lot of different actors and stuff, and so I felt like it was just like a lot of fun with that. But I overall I would say I really really enjoy the James Bond series. Are there any Criterion movies that you are not fond of that you own? Yes, I would say there actually are. So there are. Let's see. There was a few that I actually bought that I was just it was okay to me. Trying to think of what those were now. Thing is, like, with when it comes to Criterion, I feel like there are um even ones that I don't feel like, you know, super passionate about. I understand why they are in the Criterion collection. Um Man, I can't think of any that are like off the top of my head. Um some of these, like Tokyo Drifter, it was good. But I personally found it a little slow. Um so maybe I need to rewatch it. I think with like when it comes to some of the Criterion films, it's like, if you're not in like the right mood to watch something, especially a foreign language film, sometimes the movie can like suffer from that, and so when you're watching it, it just kind of feels like it's dragging on, or um, I don't know, it doesn't feel as um, I don't know, it just feels like okay. There's definitely films within there that I'm trying to think now. I'm not a huge movie or nope, I am a big movie fan. I'm not a huge music fan. I mean, I like music, but I'm not like a die-hard music person. And so films like A Hard Day's Night, I'm not a big Beatles fan. I don't mind the Beatles, but I'm not like, I don't need to like listen to everything the Beatles ever put out. I understand their cultural significance. And I understand the cultural significance of A Hard Day's Night. I just, to me, it was just okay. And I don't know. I appreciate it, but it's not really my thing. And so a lot of the like the concert or the music type of films like that, like the Beastie Boys anthology, I think it's anthology, one where it's like a compilation of all their music videos. I'm not a big Beastie Boys fan. The Gimme Shelter, which is like the Jimi Hendrix, I think it's Jimi Hendrix or no, Rolling Stones. Sorry, the Rolling Stones, like almost documentary. Again, it was okay to me. The Monterey Pop Festival is fine, like, which I understand the significance of each of these things that kind of happened within like music affecting like the world. Just for me personally, it's not necessarily my thing, and so that's kind of a lot of the music ones I would say are ones that fall a little flat for me when it comes to Criterion films, but. Um, Let's see. Do you enjoy watching TV shows and movies with Seth MacFarlane? Um, I used to. I definitely like I've seen most of Family Guy. I believe it's like it's ended now. Um, and I don't know. That's Seth MacFarlane, right? I believe that's Seth MacFarlane. He's the Family Guy, right? Like the Family Guy guy. Um, I think I'm thinking of the right guy. Seth MacFarlane. Why does that name sound familiar? He's the guy who did Family Guy. Am I right in that? I'm like 90% sure, but like it's been a while. Um I I don't know. He's okay to me. I'm not a huge fan. But I mean, then again it's like I'm just like not a huge like comedy type of fan, which I like comedies. It's just not my like go-to all the time as well. I buy a lot of physical media on secondhand websites because in the Netherlands stores increasing selling its um, classic stuff is better available in stores in Germany and Italy. Okay, that's yeah. I know like certain like I've heard from other people now in other parts of the world where getting physical media is like a harder thing to do, where they don't necessarily have you know movie stores, or I know with like region like 4, which I believe, which one is like Australia, I want to say. I could be mistaken. But it is interesting because we are getting some boutique labels out of these other parts of the world, such as like Second Sight. Eureka is from England, um, which is, I think, is actually coming to America too now, if I've heard correctly. Um, but we have Second Sight, which is a fantastic label. We have Indicator. We have all these other foreign boutique labels, meaning that there is still a market somewhere else in the world. And so I am very grateful that for whatever reason, I don't know why, but in Ohio specifically, there's like I've seen a lot of different movie stores. And it seems like physical media is like it's popular in Ohio. I don't know what that like reasoning is. At least between Ohio and Pennsylvania. Because I used to follow Cinema Sickness on YouTube as well, and he was from Pennsylvania. I think he moved to Florida now, but he was from Pennsylvania, and so he would buy a lot from stores around in the Pennsylvania area, and so I'd always see all these different movie stores that he would come across. But yeah, he stars in Family Guy and the movies Ted, and the Ted series is also plays in America and in American Dad. There we go. Yes. So as far as Seth MacFarlane goes, I feel like I heard in one video once where he kind of just throws things against the wall and sees what sticks. Um, and from what I understand, he is a very, very busy guy. I mean, he was doing writing, and he was, part of Family Guy as like a voice acting. He was a voice acting in American Dad. He was, directed and he directed and starred in a film. He was, I mean, Ted as well. He was doing the voice and stuff. So he did a lot of voice acting and stuff, and it just sounds like his life is very, very, very busy. And so I feel like not everything he makes was like a huge hit, which is understandable for that being that busy. Like movies like A Million Ways to Die in the West, I feel was like a flop. But I feel like Ted was kind of a fun movie. I enjoyed Ted. Um, and I don't remember seeing. I don't know if I saw Ted 2 or not. Um, but Family Guy, I remember liking it a lot in middle school. And I just kind of it fell off. I just stopped watching it. I think I stopped around season 12. Um, but yeah, I mean it was fine. Criterion is not available in Europe, unfortunately. Yes, I've heard that. And I wish that wasn't the case um, because like the what's it called, the channel on YouTube, Daisuke Beppu, which I've talked about a couple times. If you are a fan of Criterion, you need to find this channel on YouTube. It's Daisuke Beppu is the name. Um, and I think I've linked his channel before in one of my videos. I forget which one now. Um, it might have been my room tour video. I might have linked his channel in that, but he is fantastic. He's like, honestly one of the nicest people. I've spoken like messaged him a couple of times, and honestly one of the nicest people I think I've ever interacted with. But he has a full Criterion collection, and so he has not only just a full Criterion collection. He has the different artwork variations, or the different, like for the example of like Silence of the Lambs, he has the DVD and the Blu-ray, or stuff like that. He'll have like the different logos and all that stuff, and he has all the laser discs and the box sets, and you know very, very, very impressive collection. He does though, or he used to live in Japan, and so he would always talk about how the struggle of getting the films when he lived there, and so now he's living in California. But yeah, I mean that I've heard it is a pain, and you're paying a lot of shipping to get titles from these whenever you're living overseas from America. But yeah, so I feel bad that some of these people, they don't like when you're living in places like Europe, or even Japan, or wherever else. It is harder to get the like the films. But hopefully someday, like fingers crossed, someday in the future we'll have like a better system where you can order from anywhere and it can get to you at a reasonable cost. But I've been still wanting to get in contact with someone from the UK to send me a Blu-ray player, because I would love to get a Region B Blu-ray player. A lot of the time with Region, like if you look up like Region B Blu-ray player on eBay, you'll just come across people who've hacked in like a Region A Blu-ray player to make it Region B. But I want like an authentic Region B Blu-ray player, like one that was like made and manufactured in England, like, and then I can somehow get it sent over here. I'm not. Maybe that'll someday happen, but I don't know. Okay. So, I am probably going to wrap this up. I've been talking for about an hour. Let's see. What is your least favorite format to watch movies on? Ooh, that's a great question. Um, so truthfully, I need to watch more. This is part of my 2024 goals, is to watch more formats of movies. When I do have time to watch a movie, I am gravitating towards a disc, and so I'm grabbing a DVD or a Blu-ray or 4K. I'm not very often popping in a VHS tape, almost never popping in a Laserdisc, and I don't even know if I've ever actually like really popped in a CED and watched it like all the way through on a CED. Um, and I mean, I have beta tape, which I mean, I have players for all these things, but I'm not very often gravitating towards them. Um, and I think it's because I have so much on DVD or Blu-ray or 4K that I have not seen, that I just feel like that's the one that I'm buying the most of, obviously, and so um, I feel like those are the ones that I'm like putting my effort towards watching. So as far as like least favorite, um, I'd say probably CED. That would probably be um, I don't know. That would probably be my least favorite to watch on, but I like collecting them, if that makes sense. That might sound stupid to some people, but I do. I like collecting them just because of like, I don't know. I like the look of them, like the big plastic on them, and I don't know. They look cool. But I should watch more CED like video discs. And so maybe this year that will be a goal. It is a goal, I should say, this year, is to watch more CED, along with VHS. Like, because I have this whole wall next to me of like horror VHS that I really just need to watch. But yeah, Amazon, but oh yeah, I had to skip the whole line. Yes, same here. I saw one on Amazon, but sold out. The multi-region player or players are a must indeed. So I am in the process. Like I bought a Panasonic Blu-ray player. It's an older one from Goodwill a couple weeks ago. And the remote for it, because it didn't have a remote, so I bought a replacement remote on eBay. Um, and um, the remote on it, or I'm trying to think now. I'm trying to think. Yeah, the um I need to watch. Yep, I'm completely lost my train of thought there. I'm sorry. I bought this Panasonic Blu-ray player on eBay, or on at Goodwill. I bought a remote off eBay. The remote should be here sometime in the next couple of days. From what I understand, it can be a multi region Blu-ray player. But we'll see once I actually get the remote, and I'll be able to actually go through the menus and stuff and see if I can change that. So fingers crossed it works, because it was only like $10, and so I'm really hoping that it works out for me, because on eBay the prices for a multi-region Blu-ray player, they look, the ones that people just like hack in to and like make it a multi-region whatever, they're $100 plus most of the time. And so I'm really hoping that this one actually works, because I have a few films from like Eureka that are only region B Blu-rays that I would love to watch, and unfortunately I just don't have a player for it. So fingers crossed. But I'll probably be talking about that if it works out. I'll be talking about that on the next live stream for sure. Um, let's see. Yes, he is. Uh, not sure what that's in regards to. Well, have a great rest of your evening, Kyle via NYC. Always a great convo. Thank you. I appreciate that. I hope you enjoy the rest of your night as well. Multi-region Blu-ray players are all I got. Sweet. Yeah, I kind of like um I don't know. I really want one is the thing. Because of course, I mean, I have my 4K player. I have, you know, which plays Blu-ray, DVD, 4K. Um, but I want a multi-region one because there are certain things within my collection that I have on like Region B, and I mean, a lot of the things that I have on Region B, I have on other formats, so I'm able to watch it. But with this one box set, I got the what's his name now? Um, the Zulawski, Andre Zulawski. Um, I got the Andre Zulawski Eureka box set. It's a Masters of Cinema box set, and so um, the it's all Region B, and so I've been really wanting to watch those films because that is like the only way that you can watch those really. And then plus, there's some other movies that I've come across that I really want to get, but they're only Region B, and so yeah, someday I'll get around to owning one. But let's see, I think we're gonna wrap this up though, because I've been talking for about an hour straight. I like to keep these like right an hour 20 minutes ish, somewhere in that range, because I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time. And yeah, it's also I'm an introvert, so like talking for a long period of time just drains me. But I love chatting with you guys. Don't get me wrong. That is it's my absolute favorite part of having this channel is just interacting with you guys. I mean even tonight I had somebody from like um, just all over the world. So I'm very grateful for that. But let's see, I have one regular Blu-ray player and one region free player hooked up to each TV later. That's awesome. That's kind of what I want too. I want like the regular 4K player, but then I also want the Region B or multi-region player. But hopefully I'll figure that out in this next week or so. So fingers crossed. But yeah, I guess I'll end this here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. It's always a blast. And will be posting a new video on Tuesday. And if you are curious, like I mentioned at the beginning of this live stream, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll have the I guess like latest updates when I'm going to be doing live streams. I usually do them Sunday at 7 o'clock, and so just keep an eye out for that because if you're curious on that. But if you are watching this on the re-upload, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. I guess let me know in the comments down below of any questions that were asked that if you wanted to comment on, I would be happy to reply and happy to read your thoughts on those. I did mention this in my last video, which I guess I'll mention it here briefly too, which I don't want to like mention in every single video, but I did start up an Amazon storefront. There we go. So if you are curious on that, I have links in all my videos. Just I guess follow those, and so you can kind of see some movies that I've just put in there, some of the equipment that I use to film my videos, and I do get a small like kickback if you purchase anything there. So if you are in the market for a camera and you want to buy one, I would 100% appreciate if you just bought a camera through that link, because that'd be great. It'd be helping the channel out, and you'd be getting your camera. So I also do have there's like a code for $5 off your first order through Arrow Video if you spend $30 or more. So if you're curious on that, there's also a link in the description as well. And I will also get a kickback from that too. So that would also be helping the channel. So, but of course, just watching these also helps the channel. I really do appreciate this. I would be doing the exact same thing if I had 5 subscribers. I am internally completely and 100% grateful for all the subscribers that I do have. And so You know, I really do appreciate it. And so, yeah, I'm happy to be, I don't know, um, yeah, I'm happy to be talking about movies on the internet. I feel like it's so fun. It's like, I don't know, I love it. But you got a lifetime of movies behind you. Yes, I am very, very grateful for my collection, as you can see behind me. And I was, you know, I think of it as, you know, I'm going to have something new to watch for the rest of my life, which, especially if I keep up with my, you know, my buying habits. And if I'm able to keep purchasing Criterion, there's always going to be Criterion coming out, and so I will forever have something new to watch and new to explore, and my watching journey will you know, continue on. And so I think that's the beauty of movies, because there will always be new movies being made. Um, and you know, we're movies as a an art form, it's still relatively new, and so we're still learning, you know, and developing, and it's so exciting to watch. And so it's just wild how far movies have come in, you know, only about 100 years. It's not that much time, really. So, yeah. But thank you guys again so much for taking the time to watch this. I really do appreciate it. I hope everybody out there has a great week, and I will see you guys all in the next live stream. So, thank you guys, and take care.